All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Old Ladies Lift Chat. I am one of your hosts, Laarni Mulvey, the Power Lady, and I have my, I always forget you go on this side.
Co-conspirator, partner in crime, Chandler Mars, founder, creator of Old Ladies Lift, the premier lifting site for older women who lift heavy. And
we have an awesome guest today who, by the way, if you guys see these designs on our page on the YouTube channel, and make sure you guys like and subscribe to Old Ladies Lift YouTube channel when you are finished watching this or saving it for later. Make sure you guys like and subscribe so you can see the newest and upcoming episodes that are happening on Old Ladies Lift Chat. Training videos, comp videos, all that stuff is on the Old Ladies Lift YouTube channel. So go ahead.
Oh no, I can say our guest today.
Yes.
Designed all of this. She is our in-house designer for all of our graphics, our shirts, our website stuff, everything we do. Terri has a hand in. So.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say her last name. I was like, go
no,
Chandler.
I can't. We're gonna let her say it because I've already forgotten how to pronounce it. So, Terri, why don't you introduce yourself?
My name is Terri VendeVegte. Much easier pronounced than it looks. But yes, I've been a member of this group for about a year or so, I guess.
Well, maybe longer.
Right around there. But it's been so much fun. I've really enjoyed getting to see everybody's inspirational posts and getting to know people a little bit. But even more fun being able to get to know Chandler and Laarni here live. Kind of.
Sort of. It's as live as we get these days, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So Terri, where are you from?
I live near Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Oh, okay.
And in a little town called Lowell that's about maybe 15 miles outside of Grand Rapids, but close enough. Nobody knows where Lowell is, so I just call them Grand Rapids. And
do you do the whole mitten thing? Like it's like up here or whatever?
Yeah.
So where are you in the
It's going to be backwards.
It's so confusing.
I know. It's all backwards now.
Oh my gosh.
I'm over here.
Okay.
See, I need the visual. I really do need that visual.
So Terri.
Go ahead. Chandler, you go.
Okay, I appear to be cutting her off today. I must be excited to meet you or something. I don't know. So Terri, how did you come to powerlifting?
Well, I did it at a rather older age, like many of us have, at about 52 or so. At 50, I had got to a point where I was like 120 pounds overweight, and I decided I got to do something about this because my in-laws had recently gone into a retirement home, and I'd go there to visit them and everything, and I'd see all these folks in there that just were not in good health and everybody's on a walker, and I thought I'm gonna be there much sooner than I need to be if I don't start doing something here. So I started to lose some weight. I just got serious about it finally, and I lost maybe 55 pounds or so. And then I went and found a trainer, and we just were doing basic fitness type stuff, personal training, but kind of like a boot camp kind of workouts just once a week, and continued to lose weight. And then I joined a couple of other fitness classes that were sponsored by my work actually. And meantime, this trainer that I had started with on my own, he used to like to have these little competitions kind of in between his individual clients, and you would just do your part of the competition while you're there training with him. He'd have a few different types of events set up that you could challenge each other on, sort of. And a lot of them were like speed and agility and jumping and all that kind of thing, which of course I sucked at. But so,
As
but
do
I
any
did.
of us.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh, whenever they had us do
Baby,
ladders,
don't
I
jump.
But the weightlifting ones I did really well with, and he said, you know, you ought to find some kind of an outlet for that. I mean, and I'm like, me do some kind of competitive sport at 52, really? But then I started looking into what kind of strength sports are out there. And there's strongman, of course. And I kind of thought about that. And I'm like, no, I don't have the cardio. I really respect people that can do that. And then I stumbled across powerlifting, and I never knew that women ever did that. But as I looked at some of these federations' websites and so forth, I saw there's some women getting into this. It was just kind of starting, it seemed like, about that time. There was not nearly the number of women that there are now. But I thought, well, I'm gonna give this a try. So I signed up for a meet, and well, first I talked to my coach, of course, my trainer. I said, how do you feel about training me for powerlifting? And he's like, well, that sounds interesting. Yeah, let's do it. He was all on board and everything. So then I signed up for a meet and told him, okay, 4 months from today, let's do this. And sure enough, we were only training once a week. But he got me started in it and shot me the proper form and everything like that. And so I did my first meet back in Kokomo, Illinois, March of 2013.
So you've been doing this for a while. Like I mean, like I think about it, like I only started in 2019. And so so in 2013, you decided, you're like, I'm gonna do powerlifting. How awesome. That's so awesome. That is so cool. How did you feel in your first powerlifting competition?
Oh, I was terrified. but I was able to connect ahead of time with a few of the people that in that federation who turned out to be very helpful and answered a lot of my newbie questions for me. And so I at least felt sort of like I knew what I was doing when I got there. But I got there and I found everybody so welcoming and helpful. And I mean, it was like nobody was looking down on you because you were new or anything like that. Everybody really wanted you to succeed. And when you stepped out on the platform, the whole room was cheering for you. And it was just such a supportive sport that I'd never experienced before. So I was hooked. It was great.
Oh my gosh.
I was the only one in my age and weight category, but so I didn't feel like there was a ton of pressure or anything. I just tried to keep in mind all the rules I had read and everything in the rule book ahead of time, and I just treated it as a learning experience. I was still nervous the whole time, but yeah, it was so much fun though.
I think of somebody posted in the group that meme that it's like the three. It's like I was the only one in my group. It still counts.
Yeah.
That one makes me laugh because it does still count. It's hilarious. I love it.
Yeah, you still put in all that work and you still showed up.
Absolutely.
It's not your fault. Nobody else did.
Exactly.
Oh, I love that little burn right there, Terry. It's like burn. I love it.
You still laughed everybody that was sitting on the couch, kind of thing.
You did many times over.
So tell us what's your training like now?
Well, I'm still going to that same coach, although he's not training me in the lifting anymore. He's doing his specialty type of training is more of the boot camp kind of stuff, like I talked about before. Just an overall body workout and some cardio to it without being boring, and agility and mobility and all that kind of stuff, which I badly need. And then I have a different coach now who's training me twice a week doing the actual lifting part of it. And he's also my chiropractor. So that's a good thing.
It is.
I mean, it's good to know that
in that regard.
Yeah, that's a great transition.
Yeah, I mean, I told him he's my secret weapon because, you know, he keeps me all tuned up and everything working right. And he knows what training I've been doing and what issues I'm having at the moment with my back or my knee or whatever, and can work me around that. And but anyway, so I'm training with him twice a week for just 45 to 60 minutes or so. And each time we train, we focus on one of my 3 lifts, which are strict curl, bench, and deadlift.
So
And
that goes into our next question, because I didn't know I couldn't remember if you benched, but I knew you did strict curl and deadlift. And so how did you get into the strict curl?
well, they had this is the only federation. There might be one other federation that offers that as an event.
AAU does too. So I
think 100% raw does too.
Yeah.
But this federation, which is NASA, they have an actual 3 lift event called Power Sports, and that's a total of your curl, bench, and deadlift. And they also have power.
That's
then
interesting.
They also have the powerlifting, of course, you know, the regular 3. And then they also have a event called Power Press, which is the total of your power clean and bench press.
Oh, that's interesting.
So, yeah. So you can do any and all of those in a meet. But I just gravitated towards the curl because at the time I was starting, I had a really bad knee that needed replacing, bone on bone. The other one still does need it. So I wasn't doing any real deep squatting, and I know you have to be very deep in order to compete in it. So that just drew me, and I just figured, well, I'll do that. And then I had the knee replaced in about a year later, and the surgeon told me you can squat. And she very highly encouraged me to keep up with the lifting, but she said you can squat, but do not get that low. I don't know if it was the type of knee that she used. I know some ladies in here have had knees replaced, both of them even, and are still squatting, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel good to me when I try to get down that far. It feels like the whole thing is going to explode out the front.
It's going to break.
Oh, goodness. So
I don't need that.
Do you squat when you train, just not to depth, or do you just not squat at all?
I will a little bit sometimes, do some front squats or some back squats, and he'll just have me go down only as far as I would need to deadlift, which isn't that far. So
interesting. Okay.
So
I like that program. I'd like not to squat.
Yeah.
Chandler, you have to squat.
I know I have to squat. I just suck at it.
You hate it.
I'm getting to where I don't hate it. I just still suck at it.
you hate it a little bit less intensely.
Terri, talk about that strict curl. Like, I'm so interested in that. Like, how do they like judge that? Like, you know, in that kind of event.
In 100% raw federation and maybe AAU too, I'm not sure. They have you actually stand with your back against a board.
Yes, against the wall, yeah.
And then there's a line that your feet have to be even with. And then so that keeps your whole body steady. And then you just do this curl from you know, you lift it off the rack and then you step back into this position, and then you have to keep your whole body still while you do this curl. My federation does not have that, but they watch to make sure you don't bend back too far. They watch to make sure you don't bend your knees, you don't thrust forward with your hips or anything like that to cheat it up. And so it's, you know, it's just kind of more of a judgment call, but you have to stay pretty still while you do it. But it's not quite as rigid, I guess, as if standing against a board. So you just have to kind of discipline yourself not to do it and do it that way in training so you don't pick up any bad habits. Do
you have any video from one of these events that you could send us so we could put it in the YouTube channel?
Yeah, I think I have one out there, in fact.
Do we have one up of you crying?
I didn't see
Yeah.
one, but I have to look. But
Was it an older one maybe?
It should be from March of 2020.
So it's not an older one. Did I
No.
miss something? Yeah,
I
we'll
think
have
it's,
to look.
I think I sent you all 3 lifts at that time.
I think this whole last 18 months is a blur for many of us because the time has just continued on, but not continued on. It's just been this weird space in
Yeah.
reality with the pandemic. I rarely know what day of the week it is anymore, let alone oops.
sorry, Bruno. Sorry.
Oh,
I guess I'm supposed to keep talking to you. Okay, Terry. So on your you said you train 2 days a week with powerlifting, and you said a couple more days a week in general fitness. How many days a week with the general fitness?
actually only one.
Oh, really? So you're 3 days a week.
Yep.
Yeah, and you've gone from, what was your first deadlift ever? Do you remember how much you lifted the first time?
Well, I was 180, and I felt like I could do a little bit more, so he had me try 200, and I barely ground that one up.
And now you're at what? Tell everybody.
425.
Which was an absolutely gorgeous lift, by the way.
Thank you.
And you should send it to us so we can put it. We do now have a playlist that we haven't populated at all yet for workout and home gym videos of PRs and stuff. So
okay.
if you want to, you could send it to us and we could start populating that as well. I had a great PR in December, but I don't save any of my videos. So I can't put in the home gym. So I have to do it again so that it counts and I can post it.
Maybe you'll get a bigger number.
Oh, I plan on it. If the world doesn't stop spinning, I have a goal for this December, and provided everybody can stay healthy or get healthy or whatever the case may be. Knock on lots of wood. But yeah, so 425, and you're going for another set of PRs here soon. I think you posted that your coach was going to retest here again.
Yeah, next week we're doing bench and deadlift. We're still doing accessories this week, and then he said something about he said he's not going to tell me what he's putting on for bench, but then he let 450 slip for the deadlift.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, okay then. He says, well, it's only 25 pounds more than you just did, and you had more in the tank on that one, so
yeah.
I'm like, okay.
I'm so excited to see that. I'm like so excited.
I was like this. I was like pounding in the air when you did. So you have to videotape this one again. No more doing these PRs without videotaping them.
I know. It's like something that we never do otherwise, and we just didn't think of it in the heat of the moment. And so this last time I had said he had told me we were going to go for 425 that morning, and I was all nervous about it and everything. And I think you, Chandler, said on there, get a video this time. So I actually remembered, and I handed him the phone and it says, here, get this on tape, because no one's going to believe it if I don't.
Yes, that's what we always say at home. If it's not taped, it doesn't count.
It doesn't count. It never existed.
So I was really, really glad to have that on
I
there.
was glad you did it too, and everybody was so excited for you. And I think that's just kind of the whole thing with the Facebook group, is everybody is so supportive of our accomplishments and our challenges. Sometimes we have to get up there and complain and vent about how hard life is, or just what a pissy mood we're in. And everybody's like, it'll be okay, it's okay, or I feel the same thing and whatever, and then we move on. Then the other times it's like, hey, look what I did. I mean, it's so exciting to see all the PRs at every level. So I remember my first deadlift, not deadlift competition, but deadlift ever deadlift. And it was like 65 pounds, and I thought I was going to die. And then I remember at some point, because I did CrossFit, at some point we did a workout with 95-pound deadlifts. And again, I thought, oh my God, this is insane.
Who would ever
And,
want to do this?
Yeah, and I think my first competition deadlift was either 235 or 253. I can't remember. It was one or the other.
How much longer? How long was that after your first
Oh,
one
that was
attempt
probably
ever?
a year later, year and a half, because I had done CrossFit for about a year or so. And then another master's athlete at CrossFit, we were sitting on the rower and she was telling me she just went to a powerlifting meet and that there were no women. She's younger than I am. She was in her 40s and I was, well, late 40s at that point. And she said, you should try it. And I said, well, what do you have to do? What does this mean? And she goes, well, it's squat, bench, and deadlift. And I hate squat. She goes, but you don't have to squat. You could just do bench and deadlift. And I'm like, okay.
Push pull.
Yeah. And so we had a coach that came in a couple times a week to the CrossFit gym to teach Olympic lifting and powerlifting. And so I hired him and said, you know, I'm going to do this meet. And can you tell me how I'm supposed to do it, or what do I do, or all of that? And yeah, and we did it. It may have been 250. I can't remember. I'll have to look. But yeah, so and then it took me like forever. My goal was to hit 300, and it just took for freaking ever to hit 300. You know, and it was like these incremental little all the way up. And then, you know, the numbers continued after it was a big obstacle. So now my goal is to reach your status at some point, both of you, because she's done a 400-pound lift. And my next goal is 400. And I had planned on doing that before I turned 55, but the pandemic and everybody's health issues kind of threw a wrench in that. So it'll probably have to be in the next age group, because I age up in February. So, but that's the goal. 405, you know, that's the next one. So,
Terri, how do you feel that we are looking at your numbers?
Yes.
And like
we want to be you.
We want to be you.
I never thought I'd be an inspiration at 61.
But you are.
You are.
Yeah.
I talk about this group so much at other places, it's not even funny. I'm like, you should see these ladies in my group because they're just, and everyone's like, what?
They do what?
Yeah, they do what? And they're
we don't look like we're lifters, you know, because all the time you walk around and people will ask, well, do you need to lift this? No, I don't need you to lift this. Or you go to the doctor, and if they don't know you, they're like, you're just another overweight older woman. And you know, and they're like, but no, I'm not. Well, yes, I am overweight, but no, I'm not, you know, out of shape.
I had one doctor practically laugh in my face because I was trying to tell her. She was like, you should weigh 165. I'm like, my lean body mass is more than that. I can't get down that far. I said, I'm a competitive power lifter. I mean, some of my extra weight is muscle. And she said, oh, women can't build muscle. I'm like, oh, really? Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. And that's the myth. And every time you see these articles about women and weightlifting, oh gosh.
Oh, you're not going to get bulky.
Okay, so as Chandler is handling her noise too, so like, yeah, I understand the whole like, I'm 230 pounds and I own it 100%. And I had those doctors tell me, like, I was having knee issues, and pretty much they blamed it on because they didn't realize that I was running around and everything. And they're like, well, you know what, if you lost 100 pounds, I'm like, do you know what 100 pounds looks on me? I look like a little child. I'm only 5'1" on a good day. If I were to lose all this weight, I would look like a little bitty child. So
wow.
I'm fine. I'm fine with the 230. And like, people have, you know, I've been getting, it's funny, I've been posting a lot of my videos on Instagram, and I've been getting those messages now.
Oh, the ones who, well, yeah, I ought to lose. Oh, I hate that.
Yeah. And I just laugh about it because I'm just like, I must have made it. They must know that. Now they're like, oh, look at her doing that. I can't do that, but I'm going to like talk
Bitch
about
about
her.
it. Yes, excuse my language. Yes, I'm going to troll you and tell you how much better I am because I'm a overage or an older male who's never done this before, but I know how to squat, deadlift, and yeah. So what I was trying to say before this, so I was so rudely interrupted by my husband opening the garage door, was that one of my pet peeves are all of the articles that come out about women and weightlifting, and inevitably it's with these little 1 or 2 pound pink dumbbells, and that's what they think the conception of women deadlifting or women lifting is. That's what you lift in menopausal your menopausal years, these little dumbbells. I mean, and I don't think they even realize the disconnect between how much a woman lifts in everyday life. I mean, if she has children, grandchildren, she inevitably has been towing around 50, 60 pound, kids and things like that her entire life. So to say that all you can do is these little 1 pound, 2 pound pink dumbbells is just asinine.
No.
So Terri, as we're closing out our conversation today, what's next for you? I mean, are you competing? Are you training? Like, what's going on next for you?
I have a meet coming up November 13, I believe it is.
Woohoo!
And so that's what I'm currently training for. And so I'm gonna try yet again to get 400 and something deadlift in a meet, which is always kind of hard to do because you're at the end of a long day. And so I've tried it 3 or 4 times before and almost had it up. Either I didn't have my knee locked or some dumb thing and got called on it. So I'm going to succeed this time.
Given what you've been lifting recently, I think you're going to easily make it. I know there are little issues always with the knees coming in and out, and sometimes there's little hitches that you don't even know you're doing and they call you on it. But I think you've been pulling consistently over 400 now, so I think that's coming for you in a meet.
Oh, for sure.
At least I shouldn't be getting in my head so much about it when I go into the meet. I mean, last time I was like, oh, I've never done this in a meet before and get all worried about it. But if I've done it in the gym a few times, then I'll feel a lot better about it.
Yeah.
When I get
there. Then you just add 5 more. Like 5 more.
Or let your coach load the bar. Or let them select the weight.
Yeah.
He'll tell you it's like 415, and really it's kilo pounds, so none of us can add. So he can tell you
right. I can't do bar math.
Exactly.
What I usually do is a little psychological trick that works for me is if a particular weight goes up reasonably smooth and easy, then I think, well, this next one is just this much more, and I picture a couple of 10-pound dumbbells or something, which weighs nothing after you just got done doing that. Yeah, it's only this much more, and think of it in those terms as opposed to what the actual number is. And that quite often helps me.
That is useful. Yeah. I love that trick. It's definitely a mind game. Like I tell my coach, I said, don't just give me my openers and don't tell me the rest.
Yeah.
And he's like, and then he'll look at me at like my 3rd attempt. That 3rd attempt is always like, your balls out attempt, whatever. And he goes, this weight is coming up, right? And I'm just like, yes.
Yes, of course it is.
Yes.
Of course it is.
And then I find out what the weight is like after I'm done.
Oh, I wish I could do that. I'm inevitably at the meets by myself, so I have to put my weights down. But what helps me is actually watching the videos of the first and second lift, because they always feel heavy. They've never, to me, felt light. And so if I watch the video and see that it came up real quickly, then it's like, okay, it came up quickly. It's all in your head. Just,
Yeah, that's a good tool to use too.
Yeah, I think the video helps me at meets. So, it helps me now at home because that's my only coaching tool is videotaping myself. But I think at meets it's really important because I've never had one of those meets where it just felt easy. I mean, maybe people don't have it. Or maybe it's just a myth. Maybe it just looks easy and it's not. But I've never had one where it just felt like it flew up.
I've had a couple meets that actually went like that, but 2 out of 18 or whatever that I've done only. So most of the time it feels a lot harder to me.
Yeah. So so I have to videotape and confirm that it's moving okay and you're fine and go do it.
Yeah.
Check head. My arms are still attached. Okay, my legs are still good. Okay, I can do my next.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm still here. Haven't had a heart attack. I'm good.
Oh my gosh.
I lifted it. I did not die.
Yes, that's I think the criteria for success.
Well, oh my gosh. Well, Terri, it was so awesome to finally meet you virtually. I know. And as I was thinking when you were talking about where you're at, I'm like, you're not that far from me. I mean, it's a drive, but Michigan is just above me. I'm in Illinois. I'm in the Chicagoland area. So I could just go up and round. And that, maybe I will, maybe I can go up there one of these days and actually see you compete in person and maybe interview you in person. That would be awesome.
That would be
And Chandler,
fantastic.
if I get to go to Utah, you're in Utah, right?
No, I'm in Nevada.
Nevada. Sorry,
Yeah.
they're close together.
Yeah, they are close. We yes, and so is California. So if the world opens up, I will travel to California and watch some other folks. But we have a lot of meets here in Nevada. Luckily, people like to come here to compete different federations. So I just said, yeah.
Oh my gosh. So Terri, I'm so glad that we finally got to meet on this platform because I love seeing your videos and everything on the Old Ladies Lift page because you're inspiration to me. And Chandler, you're an inspiration to me as well because this is where I want to be. Like this is who I want to surround myself with, these amazing, strong women who, we're like doing our thing. Yeah, we're doing our thing. And that's why I'm so glad that you were able to come and chat with us today. I'm so excited.
Yay.
Well, thank you for having me. It was so much fun.
See, you did great.
No, it's wonderful. So for all of you out there, if you are a female lifter over the age of 40, join our Facebook group. It's a private Facebook group called Old Ladies Lift. You can see Terri and everybody else because we post videos. We chat about all things menopausal, and we have a great fun. So if you're over 40 and female, join us there. If you are not over 40 and or not female, find us on oldladieslift.com where you can see a lot of these wonderful videos, the competition videos, and you can read the stories, athlete bios, so you can see how many of us got into this sport. Much of it we got into it happenstance, and then found out we loved being strong. But you can also buy t-shirts, many of which are designed by Terri. Yes. Let's see if I can back up a little. We'll get a little bit of a thing here. We'll do a little here. This is one of our t-shirts. Check your assumptions.
Yes. Yes.
Because a lot of people assume because you're older you can't lift. Well, that's wrong. So buy a t-shirt or a bag or something else, and subscribe, like to the YouTube channel. And did I cover all of it? I think that's it.
Yeah, I think you did. So I'll close us out on this one. So again, Terri, thank you for being our guest today on Old Ladies Lift Chat. It was amazing to talk with you. So everyone watching this video on the YouTube channel, go ahead and like and subscribe on this channel. All the links to get to oldladieslift.com, our shop, to submit stories, everything like that is on oldladieslift.com. That link will be on the YouTube description. And if you guys have any questions for me or for Chandler, feel free to send us a message as well, because we would love to support you as an older woman lifting heavy things. I said it, Chandler. You usually say lifting the heavy things.
Yeah, that's all right. Now we got to get the tagline, Old Ladies Lift, where age is inevitable and weakness is not.
Yes, I didn't fumble up that one. All
That's
right.
a little bit of a tongue twister.
It is. It is. But thank you guys for coming and watching our channel. Thank you, Terry. And we will talk to you guys soon. And we will see you on the next episode of Old Ladies Lift Chat. See you guys.
Bye. Thanks all.